everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the ride or die tag. Jacklyn Hill started this just like last week. She tagged a lot of people like Tati, Madison Miller, Casey Holmes, people like that, Kathleen Lights, and everybody started to do it. And basically what the ride or die challenge is, or the ride or die tag is basically, as Jacklyn Hill puts it, if you are stranded out on a deserted island and you have to take one of everything, your all-time favorite primer, mascara, foundation, concealer, everything, if you had to choose just one thing to go out there on a deserted island and have for the rest of your life, what would it be? So, with that in mind, I sat down to my makeup collection and I have picked out some things, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard for some of this stuff. Like really hard to pick out some of this stuff. Which is crazy. I really did not think it was going to be that hard, because I was like, oh yeah, I know that, I know that, I know that. It's so simple, right? When I was watching her tag, wrong. I will link her video down below if you are interested in seeing her video on it, and don't forget to subscribe down below, and let's jump into it. Alright, so I'm gonna start just like the way I apply my makeup, and so the first thing is primer. Now this one I'm already gonna start off on a cheating note, because never do I ever use one primer. Because I have oily skin, and more recently more of a combination type of skin, I cannot just use one primer, because an illuminating primer is just going to make me be a grease ball. A mattifying primer all over the place is just going to make me too dry on the outer portions of my face, and it's just not going to look good. So I'm going to do my favorite priming combo, like the go-to priming combo that I have. So I start with the Rimmel Linen Stay Matte Primer. This is a mattifying primer, extremely affordable. You can get it at the drugstore. And I use this in my T-zone and stuff, and it's a great mattifying primer. I have it on today. It mattifies you all day. Like, I have been out in the heat and humidity of Louisiana for about 4 or 5 hours now, and as you can see, I'm not shiny, and I didn't even blot, nothing like that. It's amazing. And then my second favorite primer, the one that I tend to use on the outer portions of my face to really hydrate, because I've been suffering from a lot of dry skin out there recently, and the one that I think is actually great, whether you have oily skin, normal skin, combo, dry, no matter what skin type you have, because all skin types can use some hydration. My favorite one is the Too Faced HangoverRx primer. This one is just the like travel size of it. I just recently purchased this. I think I got it in a haul. Maybe I did. If so, I'll link that haul down below. I don't remember now. But it is a little pricey, but it works wonders. I've never found a primer from the drugstore that does something like this. It has coconut water. It just gives you a nice, smooth, hydrated base without being greasy. Like, I can even put this on my T-zone, and no, it will not combat my oiliness during the day, but it doesn't turn to a greasy, disgusting feeling, if that makes sense. My ride or die foundation is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Ultra HD foundation. This is what it looks like. I'm in the shade 0.5, and this one, like, once I sat down to my collection, was so easy for me to pick out, because when I moved from California to Louisiana, there was a month where I just traveled with like what was in my makeup bag, and I had only taken 2 foundations, this one and the L'Oreal Pro Matte, and I didn't touch my Pro Matte. Like, from California to Idaho to Missouri, no matter what climate I was in, I loved this foundation. And that's going from like a medium climate to a really dry climate, and then I came down here to the south to a really humid climate. And no matter what, I loved this foundation. I love the way it applies. It is like a serum-y, lightweight foundation. It comes out in a light to medium. Like, one layer is a light to medium coverage, but you can definitely build this up to a medium to full coverage, which is what I love. That's what I have on my face right now. Today I did 2 layers. I've even put 3 layers of it on, and it's still just gonna look gorgeous. It doesn't cake up. It doesn't separate around my nose or get cakey here around my nose either. It's super duper long wearing, and it is so comfortable. It lasts through sweat, it lasts through the humidity. No matter where I'm at, this thing is just the bomb. Next is my Ride or Die concealer, which this is another easy one. This has been my holy grail concealer for years and years and years. This is the NYX HD concealer, and I am in the shade Porcelain. So I love this concealer because, number one, if you are fair like myself, it is very difficult to find a concealer that will conceal and do a little bit of highlighting in the triangle area. Here's what it looks like. It is full coverage, and it is so light that it can do just that. I can put it in here to get rid of my dark circles. It's going to cover that stuff extremely well, but then I can also bring it down and do a highlighted triangle. I can highlight down the center of my face. I don't have any other concealers that can do that as well as this one. Alright, and now we're going into setting the under eyes and getting into some powders. So for me, I don't bake on a daily basis. I have been a lot lately, but my tried or true way is just going to be setting with a banana powder and a lighter skin, like a light skinned powder, to just kind of highlight and cancel out, do a little color correcting underneath the eyes. So my Ride or Die tried and true product is going to be this Makeup Revolution Ultra Contour Kit. The Ultra Contour Palette. You can get this at Ulta. It is $10. Maybe it's $15. I can't remember. I'll have a link down below. But when you open it up, here's what it looks like. So I use these two colors, this banana powder and this light color right here, to set my under eyes on a daily basis. I did it today. They're great quality. They're lightweight, so you can pick up a little bit of product or you can really pack it on. And this banana powder isn't too yellow. So for pale skin people, much like myself, if you want to use a banana powder, a lot of them tend to be too pigmented. And it's very difficult to find one that isn't going to leave like a banana yellowy color underneath your eyes, and this one is amazing. So I always mix these two colors to brighten and set my under eyes. This is my Ride or Die contour shade. I'm just going to jump ahead to that because I have this palette open, but this is my Ride or Die contour shade right there. I've never found anything that is more perfect for my skin tone. It is pigmented, but it's just ashy enough that it's going to give me the most beautiful natural contour without getting muddy or looking too orange. Most contour colors look far too orange on my skin, and it looks like a bronzer. It looks like I'm trying to contour with an orangey bronzer, and it just doesn't look pretty. But it is a contour I have on my face right now, and it's another one that's extremely buildable. So you can do a light hand with it, or you can do a heavy hand. And I've never found a powder that I actually enjoy contouring my nose with either. And I found it in this powder. So these, specifically like these three colors right here, are my Ride or Die powders. I cannot get enough of them. I will be so sad when they are done. And then my Ride or Die powder, just like an all-over setting powder, is going to be the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. Mine is in the shade Translucent. So this is a product that you can find at Walmart. It is another drugstore product, and it's really, really old-fashioned. So it is a dupe for the Laura Mercier powder, as well as the La Prairie powder. Oh my goodness, I just got it everywhere. So here's what it looks like. I will say, I don't know if you can just tell, it is extremely messy. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the packaging on this thing. It's kind of a packaging fail in my opinion, but the product inside is amazing. I've never felt, even the Laura Mercier powder, I've never felt anything that is so fine and so soft. It feels just like flour. Like, you can't even tell that it is a powder, really. It just feels like skin. Like, it rubs in and feels like skin. It's amazing. It's great for baking. It does look like it has a tint of color when you look at it, but it does go on translucent. And my favorite part of this powder is that it actually adds extra coverage without adding any color. So if you do like a medium layer of foundation and then you want to add some extra coverage but you don't want to add a colored powder, because a lot of the times when I do that, It gives me more of like a darker kind of tan color that doesn't match the rest of my body, or an orangey color. This just adds extra coverage. It evens out wrinkles and pores and fine lines, all of that stuff, as well as just giving you this flawless airbrushed effect. And it works terrifically with every single foundation I've ever used. Every concealer, if I use it to bake, it works well for baking, everything. It's just a beautiful, beautiful powder. Alright, so I already talked about my favorite contouring powder, so now let's jump into my favorite bronzer. It is so easy to get this one. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Light Bronzer. This was such an easy product to figure out, like easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It is just a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. It smells like coconuts. It's not too orange. It's just perfect enough for light-skinned people. And if you want something a little bit darker, go for the just regular bronzer, not the light bronzer. It is so soft and so buttery that it applies wonderfully. It doesn't look muddy. It doesn't look too orange. It gives just enough color to the skin for me to look a little tan, if that makes sense. It's what I have on my face right now. I just can't get enough of this. My Ride or Die blush. This one was really difficult for me actually, because I switch up my blush so much and I do different colors and things like that. And I love a lot of different formulas, but for me, I just kind of thought about what is a basic color that can go with everything. Something that blends out really easily, is buildable, so if I want it to be lighter or if I want it to be deeper, I can do that. And something that, yeah, the color is just going to go perfectly with every single makeup look, no matter what I wanted to do. And that came down to the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in Rose Champagne. So here's what it looks like. You can see I have hit pan on it. Another really great drugstore blush. I mean, it is beautiful. It is the blush I have on my face right now. It's kind of faded throughout the day. But I did use a pretty light hand with it. Here's what it looks like. That's not a very good swatch. Here's what it looks like. So it's kind of like a peachy, neutrally color. And like I said, you can use a light hand and it's just going to add a hint of color, almost like using your bronzer as a blush. And then if you want it to be a little more intense, you can really, really build it up and it's going to turn out much more of the color that it is right in the pan. And then it came down to my Ride or Die highlighter. And now I've tried a lot of new highlighters as of late. And I definitely know that I am a powder highlight person. I'm not a huge fan of cream highlights. But then when I sat down to do my makeup today and I was trying to think about, like, if I never know what I'm going to do, or I'm not like really gravitating towards this new product, what is always my go back, my fallback highlighter to use? And it came down to the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter. You can see like all of the wording has already rubbed off on the front of it. This one is in the shade Radiant Lights. And it is just this beautiful champagne icy highlight. It is what I have on my cheeks today. If you can see it, you can use a light hand and it's going to give you a natural look, or you can really build it up and it's going to give you that beaming highlight. You can use it wet or dry, depending on what type of intensity you're looking for. This one is just like the perfect mixture of everything. Great intensity, great quality, buttery smooth, another wonderful, amazing product. I cannot get enough of this. My eyes! Alright, we're going to move on to the eyes. My Ride or Die eyeshadow palette. A lot of people are having trouble with this one, but for me, it was super easy. Super duper easy. The Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is another one that's pretty new to my collection. I've only had it for a couple of weeks, but I mean, it's nothing else is like it. I don't have anything else that's like it. It has a great shadow collection. The quality is amazing. Love the packaging, love the shades that it gives you. It's a great cool tone with a little bit of warm tone in it, because I love cool tone shadows and it's really hard to find a palette with cool tones in it. And this gives you a good selection of the two. You have some that are going to definitely be a little more on the cool tone side, And then you do have some that are definitely more on the warm tone side. And I think you can do an amazing number of looks with this. You get mattes, you get shimmers, you get some that are more like satins, and then more that are like glitters. It's the shadows that I have on my eyes today. I use this in a lot of tutorials. If I ever sit down and I'm like, golly, what eyeshadow should I use today? I just pull this guy out and I know it's just gonna give me the perfect look. This is another one that's easy. I've used this in so many looks. It's like a highlight on my channel. I use it in tutorials. It's in my monthly favorites. It's been in multiples. This is the Physicians Formula Eebooster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner plus Serum in the shade Ultra Black. Here's what it looks like. The packaging is sleek and gorgeous. It looks like a high-end product. It goes on beautifully, easy to use. It's not a felt tip liner. It is more of a brush liner, which is what I prefer. And this one, this is the first one I ever purchased, which was probably almost 8 months ago, maybe even a little bit longer than that. And it is still going strong. Here's what it looks like. It is super duper black. It is so easy to use. If you are not good at winged liner but you want to be, I really suggest this product. It is easy on the eyes. It doesn't tug. I used it today to do my winged liner. I just can't get enough of this guy. Every time I try another one, I'm like, nope. Just not as good as the Physicians Formula. I can't. Very rarely do I ever have another eyeliner pen in my collection. And then just regular pencil liner. So anything you want to put on the waterline, if you want to smudge it out, anything like that, comes down to the Wet n Wild On Edge Long Wearing Eye Pencil in the shade You're the Yin. So here's what it looks like. I've used about half of this. And this is another one that no matter what, it's always in my waterline. If I want a black liner, this is what I go for. It is creamy and pigmented. There is the swatch of it right there. It is so black. It lasts a long time, and then if you want to smudge it out, you can definitely do that. As you can see, it doesn't set too fast, so it gives you plenty of time to smudge it out. It sharpens really well. I've had a lot of pencils that just don't sharpen, like the tips tend to break off too much when you do that. This one sharpens really well. A lash primer. So I know a lot of people don't use this, but for me it's like an everyday thing. No matter what, I use a lash primer because I think they actually do work. I think they extend the wear of your mascara. I think they prevent it from flaking or moving around too much. I do think it's just a really great product. Really healthy for your lashes too. And my number one go-to is the L'Oreal Voluminous primer. Here's what it looks like. It's just a lot like the Voluminous mascara that they have. It has a very similar wand. It is a white primer, just really great. You apply one coat of it and whatever mascara you're using on top of it just is really emphasized. It adds volume and length. I've talked about it in so many favorites videos. I just can't get enough of it. And then we came down to mascara. Now this was probably the hardest product for me to choose, for the single reason that I don't ever use one mascara. I always use 2 or 3 different types of mascara on my lashes at once. So I'm still kind of on the fence about which one I want to say. I have 3 and I'm trying to choose between them right now. If I have to choose one, it's gonna be the Smashbox X-Rated mascara. So I do not like the price tag of this mascara. I'm just gonna say that. I don't, but I'm willing to splurge. This mascara is very wet, so if you don't like a wet mascara, then what I suggest if you are interested in trying this is really wiping off the excess. Now I love this because it is lengthening, because it has 3 sets of really long bristles that are really going to lengthen and separate, and then it has 3 sets of really short bristles that are going to volumize and really pack on the product. So I love it because it has multiple uses. The other reason I love this is because it is more of a natural bristle. It is not a hard plastic bristle. And it's what I have on my lower lash line. It doesn't transfer, it doesn't flake. So there are a lot of pros to this, and I do think the pros outweigh the cons in this case. Onto the brows. Now today I was so upset because My number one ride or die brow pencil is the Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Soft Brown. Today I sat down to do my brows and I go to twist up my brow pencil and there's nothing left. I was very, very upset. Here is what it looks like. It comes with a spoolie. This is a brand new one, that's why it looks so clean. It's a great color for us blondie folks. And it is so creamy and smooth. I love it. It doesn't tug at your brows when you're applying them. It goes on like a dream. So this one I just love. I think it's better than the NYX. I think it's better than the L'Oreal. I think it's better than the Anastasia. I think it's better than the Benefit. I think it's better than the IT Cosmetics. All of those are either one, they're too orange for my blonde brows, like blonde problems, right? You either find something that's like too brown, like a taupiness that's too brown, and or the blonde shade is just too orange. So there's the struggle there. Number two is if you find one, like the NYX has a really great color match for me, but that one is so dry that you really, really have to get pressed hard to get some color payoff, and the tip tends to break off because I'm pressing so hard. Like, it's difficult to use, and I find that with the L'Oreal as well. The more I've used this guy and then I tried the L'Oreal and I go back to it, that one I find is a lot more of a drier formula. So if you like a dry formula, then you're going to enjoy that. I think that pencils are a lot easier to use than pomades. If you like a creamy pomade, then I would suggest trying this pencil because it is quite creamy and I think you'll actually like it. But this one, like, I can do my brows in 2 minutes, like 1 minute per brow, because it goes on so creamy and so easily that I'm not like trying to go over the same spot time and time and time again to get any color payoff. Now my ride or die brow gel, my brow setting gel, this one is super duper easy, is the Essence Make Me Brow. Here's what it looks like. This is a total dupe for the Benefit Gimme Brow, 100% dupe. I think the color selection is great. They have 3 colors. I think they are actually pretty universal colors. I use the shade Blondie Brows. The wand applicator on it is just so small, so easy to get up in the brows. I do have this on my brows today. I think it's great because it adds a little bit of color as well as keeps those brow hairs in place and set down, and once it dries, the color really does dry in and makes it look really natural. We're moving down to the lips. So Jacklyn Hill wanted to know your favorite liquid lipstick, cream lipstick, and lip gloss. So I did figure out those 3. Lip gloss is where I'm going to start, and that one was extremely easy for me. These are the Bath & Body Works Mentha Lip Shines. They have tons and tons and tons of flavors, different shiny opacities. They are just amazing. They just come in a squeezy tube like this. They're like $7.99 per piece, pretty affordable. They last forever on the lips. They are kind of sticky at first. I will warn you, if you're not a fan of sticky lip gloss, you may not like this. I think it's really easy to run them across like a lipstick and they're gonna last a really long time, or if you just want to use them on their own. The reason I love this though is that once they're worn away, that hydration is still there for the next few hours. So you don't immediately have to go back in and reapply. If you're looking for hydration, that's what I love about these. I think they're amazing. They come in so many different flavors. And my favorite liquid lipstick, this one was kind of difficult. I kind of had it narrowed down between a couple of them, and it came down to the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. So these are $5.99. You can get them at the drugstore. They have tons of different colors. They have neutrals, some deep berry tones, some corals, everything that you can imagine. These are a liquid lipstick. They say a soft matte lip cream, but unlike the NYX liquid suedes, they do dry down fully matte and they aren't going to transfer. So they stick in place. I have this one on my lips today. Here's what the color is. This one's in the shade Stockholm. And then we come down to my favorite lipstick. I'm wearing it on top of that liquid lipstick today, and it is the Milani, what are these ones? These are cream lipsticks. This one's in the shade Nude Cream. It's number 26. Here's what the packaging looks like. Number 1, packaging is amazing. Number 2, they're only like $5.99. You can get them at the drugstore. Here's what the color looks like. I just think that this is the most wearable color lipstick I have in my collection, and that's really why it won me over for this. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful nude. Funny enough, it looks identical to Stockholm, so it's just like the exact same color, just in a different formula. I think it's very, very wearable. It is more of a warm shade, but even if you're trying to do like a cool tone eye, it's not so warm that it's gonna look funny. Setting spray. So my favorite setting spray, and the one I always go back to, is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray. I think this is the only setting spray I've ever tried that actually extends the wear of my makeup as well as absorbs any extra powder. For me, it's just an all-around winner. My favorite set of false lashes. Now, I don't wear false lashes on an everyday basis. I'm not one of those types of people, but when I do want to wear false lashes because like today I had a really dramatic smoky eye going on, or I just want to add a little extra oomph for whatever eye look I'm going for, or I want to have my lashes show up more on YouTube, the one and only lash that I ever wear are the Kiss natural lashes in the shade Shy, or the style Shy, I guess. These ones I can wear all day because they are so lightweight and natural. I mean, they're the lashes I'm wearing right now, if I didn't mention that. They're dramatic and yet natural at the same time, so you can use them in a lot of different cases. So that's what I love about them. Sorry this tag is so long, but I have a lot of things that I love. Last but not least, I'm going to add in a favorite blotting powder or touching up powder or things like that. You know, if you are oily skin like myself and your foundation or powder likes to wear away and you have to go in and blot throughout the day, I'd like to see what your favorite blotting powder is. Mine is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder. I'm in the shade 10, which is what? Ivory Porcelain. It's in the shade Porcelain. What I love about this is like a powder foundation. That is what it looks like right there on the finger, but it adds just enough coverage to fill in any areas in my foundation where my foundation has like separated, but at the same time it's not going to cake up around my nose. It's just a great product, great packaging, great quality in the product. Everything about it is lovely. So alright guys, so that is my ride or die challenge, my ride or die tag, whatever you want to call it. I hope you guys stuck around to the very end. I know this was kind of a longer one, and I'm sorry for talking so much. I just love makeup. And yeah, if you have done this tag, please leave me a comment down below or catch up with me on Twitter or something. Tweet me and let me know that you've done it so I can go watch it and see what your ride or die makeup products are. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys later.